pleasant day to each and everyone. So we are the group 2 and we are here to present an article entitled Is Google Making Us Stupid? Written by Nicholas Carr. And later on, we will also give our insights with regards to the question, is Google making us stupid? But before we formally start, allow me first to introduce my group mates. So we have here Miss Nina Jolly Aparicio, Miss Mary Gay Concha, Miss Angeline Gagliarde, Miss Mabel Induna, Miss Mary Antoinette Bantilan, Miss Shema Cabaron, Miss Jaya Nimpas, Sir Justin Pugoy, Sir Darrell Puansing, Miss Verly Ripolla, Miss Marifel Salipdan, Miss Nelson Sampello, and Miss Chris J.J. Bench Sano. So we are going to talk about who is Nicholas Carr, what is Google, and who founded Google. But first, a little heads up or a short overview of what is the article all about. So in the article, Is Google Making Us Stupid? The main point of the author, Nicholas Carr, is trying to make is that as the internet becomes our primary source of information, it begins to affect our ability to read books and other long pieces. Even though this process may offer knowledge efficiency, it flattens our brain's learning experience in the process. The first thing Carr does is to share a problem with the audience about how he can focus on reading. Carr goes on to give a very well-researched account how text in the internet is supposed to make the browsing experience fast and profitable. He describes how the internet is set up to make other people make money and how our critical thinking skills and attention spans are degrading on the process. He talks about the idea of considering the mind as a computer feels bad for the loss of deep reading and the intellectual stimulation it provides for our brains. He wraps up his argument by describing what we are losing in the shift towards using the internet as our main information source. So after hearing the short overview of the article written by Nicholas Carr, let us move on of knowing him. Who is Nicholas Carr, by the way? So Nicholas Carr is an acclaimed writer whose work focuses on the intersection of technology, economics, and culture. So in his article, Carr argues that modern internet usage habits cause a loss of attention span, changing an individual's thought patterns, and diminishing intelligence and culture.
So, what is Google? Google is a popular internet search engine. It scans the web to find the web pages that are relevant to the words you have typed in the search box. The company has declared that its mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. It seeks to develop the perfect search engine, which it's defined as something that understands exactly what you mean and gives you back exactly what you want. In Google's view, information is a kind of commodity, a utilitarian source that can be mined and processed with industrial efficiency. The more pieces of information we can access and the faster we can extract their gist, the more productive we become as thinkers. Next, who founded Google? So, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, the gifted young men who founded Google, while pursuing doctoral degrees in computer science at Stanford, speak frequently of their desire to turn their search engine into an artificial intelligence, a HAL or HAL-like machine that might be connected directly to our brains. The ultimate search engine is something as smart as people, or smarter. Page said in a speech a few years back, for us, working on a search is a way to work on artificial intelligence. In a, in a 2004 interview with Newsweek, Brin said that certainly if you had all the world's information directly attached to your brain, or an artificial brain that was smarter than your brain, you'd be better off. So last year, Page told a convention of scientists that Google is really trying to build artificial intelligence and to do it on a large scale.
Does the internet make us dumber? According to Nicholas Carr, the cognitive effects are measurable. We're turning into swallow thinkers. The Roman philosopher Seneca may have put it best 2,000 years ago. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. Today, the internet grants us easy access to unprecedented amounts of information. But a growing body of scientific evidence suggests that the net, with its constant distractions and interruptions, is also turning us into scattered and superficial thinkers. Community Journal. The picture emerging from the research is deeply troubling, at least to anyone who values the depth rather than just the velocity of human thought. People who read text studied with links and studied show comprehend less than those who read traditional linear text. People who watch busy multimedia presentations remember less than those who take in information in a more sedate and focused manner. People who are continually distracted by emails, alerts, and other messages understand less than those who are able to concentrate. And people who juggle many tasks are less creative and less productive than those who do one thing at a time.
The common thread in these disabilities is the division of attention. The richness of our thoughts, our memories, and even our personalities hinges on our ability to focus the mind and sustain concentration. Only when we pay deep attention to a new place of information are we able to associate it meaningfully and systematically with knowledge already well established in memory. Writes the Nobel Prize winning neuroscientist Eric Kandel, such associations are essential mastering complex concepts.
Okay, so why Google effect happens? Okay, so the Google effect occurs because our brain don't let prioritize the information that we will be able to access later. So although it can be a sign of being more effective with what needs to be remembered, it creates a dependency on technology that can have negative consequences on our intelligence. Okay, so why Google effect happens? Okay, so nana siya ka way. Okay, which for example, kaning negative effects. Okay, so daghan kayong negative effects. Ang Google pwede na maka-brainwash sa imong utok kay di ba magsalig na ka kay na technology which is ato ka makakuha or technology which is na ang Google nito. For example, kung sa cellphone, sa laptop, di ba, nadring pwede na siya ma-download ang Google. So Google ana ma-search, di ba? Daghan yun kayo siyang ma-search diya. For example, kaning mga data analysis or sa research, din kaning mga or anything else nga imo mahibaw-an sa klase na radya tanan. But wala ka mag-think kanaa sa ni siya yung mga fake which is nagtukag sakto pero fake na siya. Okay, ang positive way is pas-pas dali. Nga kwan ang imong time ang time dali ra gid siya makuha nimo siya. Okay, so let's move on to how to avoid it. So, okay, the easiest way to avoid the Google effect is to look to other sources to gather information. However, this usually requires more effort and time. Alternative, we can try to take handwritten notes or take a few moments before looking something up to see if we can active our brains to remember it first. Okay, so instead of surfing or googling, so naidahang way. Pwede ka mo-adto sa ng library. So, look for a book nga kanang valid kay ang mga information sa imong gipangita. Then, it's precise pa jud. Diba?
So 15 seconds is the average time an American spends looking at a web page. So 15 seconds in one experiment conducted at Cornell University. For example, half a class of students was allowed to use internet-connected laptops during a lecture, while the other had to keep their computers shut. So Ms. Greenfield concluded that every medium develops some cognitive skills at the expense of others. So our growing use of screen-based media, she said, has strengthened visual spatial intelligence, which can improve the ability to do jobs that involve keeping track of lots of simultaneous signals, like air traffic control. But that has been accompanied by new weaknesses in higher-order cognitive processes, so including the abstract vocabulary, mindfulness, reflection, inductive problem-solving, critical thinking, and imagination. So we're becoming, in a word, shallower. So kani siya nga case no na the students was allowed to use internet during the lecture kay though naa siya advantage nga makagain pa ang mga students of more information about the discussion, but the disadvantage is instead na makafocus sila sa klase, mas ang ilang attention ma-divide. So kanang maka-learn sila pero ma-distract sila sa laing platform sa social media.
Does the internet make you smarter? Well, for me, the human brain's cellular structure readily adapts to the tools we use, including those for finding and sharing information. Each technological advancement strengthens some neural pathways while weakening others. The web, according to the neuroscientist Michael Merchandis, is massively reshaping our brains. Reading a long series of pages teaches us a rare kind of mental discipline. Unlike the screen, the page encourages contemplation. The internet never encourages us to take our time, but instead, it makes our work easier. That's why Google is making us smarter for me.
Does the internet makes you smarter? There are several ways in which technology has already had a long-lasting impact on our lives. But only one issue persists. What effect has technology had on our intelligence? While some feel that the internet is making us smarter, others say that it is making us lazier or dumber. The internet is making us smarter in a variety of ways. It enables us to do research, find facts, and learn new things. Even if you only view videos like in YouTube, it can teach you a lot. The ability to investigate any topic of interest in a matter of seconds make it much easier to check and retrieve data. As a result, your knowledge grows with each search for a certain information. Almost in the same manner, the internet is dumbing us down. The internet is making us lazy learners since we know we don't have to know everything because we have the internet.
So ways digital technology can affect cognitive function. So we have here the following drawbacks. So first is it can be hugely distracting. We all wish we had more time to get things done. The thing is, it's not how much time we have, but how we use that time that's important. Technology is taking up more and more of our time, distracting us and keeping us from being productive, efficient, and effective. The second one is it may impair memory. So potential harmful effects of extensive screen time and technology use include heightened attention deficit symptoms, impaired emotional and social intelligence, technology addiction, social isolation, impaired brain development, and disrupted sleep. The third one is it can make us more impulsive. So, being glued to your smartphone could be causing you to make impulsive decisions and crave immediate gratification. In fact, people who spend more time on their phones are more likely to reject larger delayed rewards in favor of smaller immediate rewards, according to a study published in the academic journal PLOS 1.
So next is it can change the way we think. So one of the reason of this is dili na kaayo ta ingon mo trust ato ang panghunahunahon. Like what I said, we put so much trust in Google. We don't have our own description. We don't have our kuan bitaw kanang mind. Sa paghunahuna pa lang is kanang we adopt. So there's nothing wrong manggod nga kanang there's nothing wrong nga mo kana makuha tawag ideas mo accept na, but the fact na wala na lang gud kay kaugalingon, wala na lang kay kaugalingon ng opinion, it's mo na siya usa sa nakabati kay instead of na kay kaugalingon decision, na kay kaugalingon yung panghunahuna, you have your own understanding and that kind of stuff, pero it's because you trust sa kato nga imuhang nakita sa social media, so delete na lang nimo sundon yung pangalan. So that's one of the problem. So next, it may hinder our ability to emphasize. So we don't have our own vocabulary, so limitahan na lang nato. Kung unsay gi-suggest ni Google, kung unsay gi-suggest sa social media nga pagsabot mo sa diha sa kutob, so dili na nato palamngan kay lagi literal kutob ang kuan, so literal kutob ang gihatag nila nga pagsabot sa imong gusto sang sabton. So you don't dig deeper sa inganang situation to analyze sa pagsabot, so you don't have it's because naala si Google dito nasad. So lastly, it can reduce our enjoyment of experience. So I agree with that. It's really can reduce the enjoyment of experience. So for example na lang good, if you're craving for something, all you have to do is to browse, search for Google kung sa near sa imong palibot nga store na pwede rin mo mapalitan para sa imong cravings, or else you are need something clothes for some occasions or some other things. So all you have to do is to search some dresses nga nindot nga mo fit sa nang occasion, and search also what good store nga imong pwedeng palitan. So like sa Shopee, Lazada, all you have to do there is to search the browse some products, and then after that wala to, you have to click. So no need for to dito sa Apple Store mga malit. So that's one of the reason nga nang malesen jud ang atong mga experience, because naratas tang comfort zone. We gi-enjoy na to pag-ayo. So nga new updated app, new kanang mga naabot nga application. So one of the sana is kanang we enjoyed so much na lang sa mga vlogs. Search na lang dito sa Google lang sa mga funny vlogs, so mga funny mga videos, and then we forgot na we have friends also that we can enjoy to accompany with us sa fun. So that's one of the reason why Google made us stupid. So I don't really agree with that, because we also human know how our part. So nasa tayo yung message. So we should control it, not Google. And not the artificial intelligence na mo control na to, but we also human do our part to know it. That's it.
Now, the benefits, and let's have first, the first benefit, it improve our decision making and visual skills. When it comes to decision making, there's the technology devices that can speed up data collection. For example, the computer AI. It helps company managers make decisions faster and more efficiently by offering network links between consumers and the company's central database. The company will collect current data on sales and can make decisions based on the new information. And when it comes to visual skills, in a way that our eyes can interpret a picture without seeing words. It helps us also in recognizing bias in news reportings and uncovers psychological principles of effective advertising, guiding us in making information or informed decisions in all aspects of our lives. And the second benefit is it encourages us to create. Another potential benefit of using digital technology is that it motivates us to create and share. For example, in social media platform, it is easier for you to create or share poems, stories, or even blogs that will make money. And the last benefit is it changes the way we dream. It improves our dreams to simple dream to big dream, or let's say a black and white to colored dreams. What we see in internet locally influence us, and that's it.
So now let's proceed to managing digital technology. So of course, given the potential downsides of constantly having our devices, our smartphones always at the ready, it's important to find a good balance between using digital technology constructively and keeping it in its place to avoid distractions and stay focused. So if you're not sure where to start, then here are a few ideas of things you can do to manage your use of digital technology. So starting with a digital detox. So this might seem very difficult to do if you're expected to be online a lot for school or for work, but just about anyone can afford to spend at least one day away from their devices. Taking a tech day free is a great way to identify any time wasting habits you may have formed and set some goals towards becoming more productive. So it's important that you have your digital detox, especially when you are slowly realizing that your thoughts or your concentrations are always drifting to your phone even when you're not using it. So digital detox might be in order for you if you're feeling that way already. So taking a time off from your devices, from social media, or in the online world really helps you in your mental health, in your emotional health, in your physical health, in your overall health. So it replenishes the energy that these devices take away from you. So have that digital detox, have time for yourself, go have a walk or go to the beach or anything that you could do away from these devices. Second is set aside specific times in the day for email and social media. So it's very important that we get to have that discipline wherein we get to decide what time of the day or of the night that we check for emails and social media. But I don't advise that you check your social media or your notifications the time you wake up and the time before you sleep, because that could actually affect how your day will went and actually affect your sleep. So schedule a time of the day except before sleeping and after waking up. So next is resist the urge to multitask. So I know this is very tempting that we, like for me, I have classes and then I want to do go outside or be with friends while still on class, because I could just turn off the mic and turn off the camera and do something else. But that is not really advisable because multitasking is emotionally and mentally draining, because it increases stress, it increases anxiety, it causes depression, and it's ruining our brain because it makes us harder to focus on or give full attention to one task. And also it affects the quality of our work. So save yourself from that stress and focus on one thing. So one task at a time. So in order also to do that, you could like have your to-do list. So when we are writing our to-do list, it always starts with something very urgent to something that is not really urgent. So you put deadlines to that, or like a time frame that this task should be done in 2 hours, or this task is deadline is like the next day, so that it will keep you guided also. So fourth one is balance your use of technology with prints. So I know as much as we want to like say paperless, so to protect our environment, but it's also important that we get to balance the use of technology with some prints. So it's still very important that we get to write something like for brainstorming or for writing notes, because a lot of study shows that it's helping us to retain more information in our mind when we are writing it rather than just reading it in the screen. So lastly is banish your phone when it's time to focus. So like for me, when I'm doing my school works or school activities, it's impossible to get away from phone because the Google Classroom or like the instructions are there in the in Facebook or in Facebook Messenger. So I need to use my phone every time I'm doing school activities. But what it means here is that you could use like moment or self-control or app block or off time, so that applications will block notifications so that you can focus on what you are doing. So these are just tips. So at the end of the day, it will always be up to you on how you will manage or your use of digital technology. Just always remember to use these devices to your own advantage and do not let it control you as a person. Okay, so remember to always have time for yourself away from these devices. So that would be all. Thank you.